The terror group ISIS already proven themselves deadly in the battlefield in Iraq, posting images like this on social media, allegedly showing gruesome executions and a mass grave. A Twitter account that posted this has been shut down now, but new accounts and posts appear just as fast. The majority of posts document terrorist atrocities and conquests. I want you to take a look at this one. It's mocking the First Lady's viral "Bring Back Our Girls" tweet with the words "Bring back our Humvee." Images from terror groups, nothing new, but has ISIS in particular proven itself to be particularly sophisticated? Joining me now to talk about all of this, CNN Money technology correspondent Lori Siegel, Brett Larson, CNN technology analyst and host of Tech Bites. Good morning to both of you. This isn't some one-man band, Lori, that's doing this. This is a coordinated effort, isn't it?
This is very sophisticated, and I will tell you, ISIS is very systematic about their approach. They have about a high hundred to low thousand group of activists who, anytime a leader tweets something, they will retweet that. They'll retweet it with a hashtag. They'll make this trend on Twitter. Now, going beyond that, they reportedly have an app. Now, this app was taken down by Google, and what it did was you would sign up for this app. ISIS would then have control of your Twitter account. They would actually be able to post whatever they wanted, and they would do this, and this is where it gets really interesting. They would do this every couple hours. They wouldn't do a lot of this because they didn't want Twitter to view this as spam. So then you have all these messages getting out there, and they're magnified. Now, it was taken down, but, you know, they had a very big, sophisticated presence that essentially has been inciting fear.
Let's talk about how effective this is, because it's a massive social media campaign, but how effective is it in recruiting potential fighters?
Well, I mean, we've seen this time and again where these militia groups can get online. It's the barrier to entry is nothing. All you need is an email address and an internet connection. You know, the benefit that traditional media always had was we have gatekeepers and editors and lawyers and people who prevent us from putting things on the air that may or may not be correct, or a whole host of things. In the age of social media, you can get on and you can spread your message around. And when you're reaching out to a group of people who have been disenfranchised or disconnected, or feel in some way that the power that be is not speaking their message, they're a very easy target to go after. And as you were saying, they're also playing these social media things, by hashtagging all their messages, they're making their message pop up higher and higher.
They latch on to your Twitter account if you sign up, because they get your personal information. They can post things for you, they can retweet them, and they do it in a way that the algorithm doesn't pick up where it can be killed. So here's my question then, because they put it on Facebook and they put it on Twitter. On Facebook, you can't post racy, you can't post pornography. They look for all those things. So what about this? Can they attempt to shut them down, or do they keep going around it?
It's interesting because we're entering a brave new world, and it's a bit of a game of whack-a-mole. You shut one down, another one comes up. But I reached out to Facebook and Twitter to ask them specifically about how they handle these kind of situations. And what was interesting is they both handle them in very different ways. I said to Facebook, walk me through the guidelines for this type of thing. And they said, you know what, we don't even need to. We have a no terrorist policy. They go on to say that, you know, any type of terrorist activity is prohibited from the service. And they ask people to actively reach out and report. Now, Twitter's a different story. They say they don't proactively monitor this kind of thing. They say they will look if someone flags something, but Twitter is really a big advocate of free speech. Now, we're seeing what that is coming to as different folks are using the service, but you have to think of it, Twitter looks at it like this. Internet service providers are treated like phone companies. You commit a crime, you just talk about committing a crime on the phone companies aren't at fault. That's how Twitter views this, and now that could change as we see all these different use cases, but Twitter's very different than Facebook.
So the Iraqi Ministry of Communication blocked the entire country's internet access. But there are some people who are saying it's good that they're showing this online because you get to see it. Legally, it's good. You get to see these atrocities, and people are informed about them.
Right. It's a double-edged sword here. Is you're showing these horrible things that you're doing, so you're inciting further violence, but you're also showing what you're doing in these atrocities, which is letting people actually see the horrible things that you're doing. And we've seen this time and again where these state-controlled media countries come in and say, well, we'll just turn off the entire internet, or we'll just shut down access to YouTube and Twitter so that we can kind of stem the tide of what is happening and try and regain control over the situation.
Lori and Brett, thank you very much. You're wondering if I was paying attention to you. I was multitasking here. Producers giving me information. We're learning now that President Obama will deliver a statement on Iraq in just over 90 minutes. The president will deliver a statement on Iraq 12:30 Eastern Time. Make sure you watch it as it happens right here on CNN.